Hello, everyone, and welcome to the podcast
The
after
post,
Mania,
the post Wrestlemania podcast.
post Mania podcast, and I am joined by Brian, who you've already heard then,
Hello.
and Ian.
It's not here. This is just his essence.
Fuck off.
This is the essence
Fuck off,
of
you
Ian.
specky twat.
This is the essence of Ian. Ian no longer exists. He is now Francis the Third.
Fuck off, Ian.
Right, do you mind me doing something before we get into all of this?
Go on.
I mind you breaking.
So me and Tom have spoke and we've decided what the punishment was for WrestleMania. I'm the loser, and what's going to happen is we're going to be buying a bunch of light tubes, and we're breaking light tubes over my back.
Fucking stupid lockdown.
We decided that, do you know what, let's go for something crazy. Because Tom talked to me out of my original idea.
Oh,
Which was?
the weather was beautiful.
My first idea was we get a board, a big wooden board. We put barbed wire on it, and then I get slammed through that.
Brian's trying to get the fucking channel demonetized.
Brian tried to get the channel shut down.
Aye. Then again, I was watching a Raka video the other week, and they were doing a wrestling match between each other,
Oh, I've seen that.
and he puts a fucking trimmer to his brother's back whilst he's turned on.
Jesus. I've not seen that video.
But now that we've let everybody know what the punishment is for WrestleMania, let's move on.
Let's move on with what our actual thoughts about WrestleMania as a whole.
Night one, disappointing. Night two, bloody like.
No, I say it was a success over both nights, really. Obviously, there were some things that were wrong in that, but as a whole, I think it was a success. I could go as far as to say this was one of the best WrestleManias that I've seen.
I did like WrestleMania season, to be honest with you.
Roll-up victories do not belong at WrestleMania.
Completely agree with you. That was a fucking sham of a win.
Are you on about Becky Lynch?
Of course.
Oh, fuck.
Elias rolling up fucking Baron Corbin.
The Becky Lynch one was the biggest disappointment, though.
What
No.
pissed me off, right, yeah?
I don't mind a roll-up victory between Baron Corbin and Elias because
It's a throwaway match.
But what pissed me off, right, yeah, with the Becky Lynch Shayna, that Shayna lost to a pinfall she lost to in NXT.
she didn't even struggle or anything. When she put her in that pin, Shayna just led her.
No,
and then after that,
here's
she
the
just
big-
rolled out and fucking walked away.
That's the big piss take. She walked away. Shayna does not walk away. Shayna breaks limbs.
Yeah.
She didn't even target any limbs during that match. I think the best thing that Shayna got was picking Becky up and then slamming her head against the announce desk twice.
Should have done it repeatedly.
Do you know what?
Should have just got disqualified.
If we're talking about this match, the main thing that we should talk about is where the fuck does Becky go for here?
There's nowhere for her to go.
She's gonna... Nia's gonna win the title, isn't she?
Oh, don't say
Oh
that.
god, that's what's going to actually happen.
They're gonna bring her back as a massive threat.
Really? So, just because she's fat, she's good? Fuck off, I'm getting sick and fucking tired of that. And yes, I'm fat shaming. Get over
You're
it.
fat yourself. You're fat yourself.
Not as fat as the whore. Fucking hell.
Alright,
been
let's
there,
move
you've
after
been there.
fat shaming. Let's move after fat shaming.
Fucking hell, Thomas.
Jesus.
She just pisses me off.
You on about me getting the channel shut down?
She should not be in the fucking company. Simple.
She botches too much.
She botches everything. It's like what I said about Liv Morgan last night. Liv Morgan wrestling is not her sport, and wrestling is not Thingy's sport. It's not Nia Jax's sport.
Why is wrestling not Liv Morgan's sport?
Because she cries in every single one of your matches.
Because
Yeah,
that's the character, innit?
I was gonna say that's the character.
No, she legit cries, tears stream down her face, and that is fucked. You
No,
don't
I
need that
love
in
Liv
wrestling.
Morgan. I love Liv Morgan. She's great in ring.
You don't want that in wrestling though.
What you do?
You don't want somebody who's going to keep crying, as JBL said on night 1 of WrestleMania.
Well, just Drake Maverick belonged in WWE, considering he pissed himself.
No, he's
it's the child. Pissed myself.
he's a general
Kick him
he's a general manager of 205 Live.
Kick him in the balls and stamp on his head.
Let's get into the crux of everything. We'll start off with favourite match.
Go on, Brian. You can go first this time.
Me to go first. Favourite match, I probably have to give it to the Seth Rollins Kevin Owens. Like, I don't think it was the best match in terms of like full on offense. That'd probably have to go to the ladder match, but this one, it just told a great story for me.
For me, it just has to be for the end of a match, and for that it's Goldberg against Braun Strowman. Because we've no longer got a 50 odd year old fucking is it semi-retired? He is semi-retired now, isn't he?
Something like that.
So, dethroning him as champion, that is the best thing WWE could have done.
Ian?
Thinking.
I thought you fell asleep on us then.
I'm changing mine. If we're going after pure storytelling, it has to be The Brock versus Drew McIntyre.
If it goes after pure storytelling, then it has to go to the Firefly Funhouse match.
That
wasn't a wrestling match. Come on.
That's what I'm saying. I'm not including either the Boneyard match or the Firefly Funhouse match because they won the matches. They were fantastic, but they won the matches.
I didn't like the Undertaker one.
We'll get into that.
I'm going to say Charlotte versus Rhea.
Charlotte versus Rhea?
Yeah.
Jesus, they're screaming.
Even though Charlotte won, I think they made the right decision.
But they're screaming, Ian. They're screaming. Oh. Right, fair enough then. Worst match.
Worst match. For me, it'd probably be Liv Morgan against fucking Natalia. That match was awful. And that was on night 2.
Or Gulak
against Cesaro.
Yeah, that was shit as well.
It was both the kickoff matches.
What kind of finish with that as well? Just spinning him around on his shoulders and then falling down and pinning him.
I know. I don't.
I don't know. I liked it.
The move was good. The finish was shit.
For me, worst match, I had to get to Bobby Lashley against Aleister Black. They had the right man win. I will give them that. But the match itself was shit.
The planting seeds.
For what?
Lawler and Lashley to split up.
Oh, fuck off. That can just...
So for that, that's better than the 2 matches me and Thomas mentioned.
No, but I'm talking about the actual in-ring fighting and everything. The match was all over the place. It was shit.
Right.
And that's tough for me to say because I am a fan of Aleister Black. The guy is incredible.
He is.
So shall we go spot of the night now? I think we're all going to say the same.
Spot of the night, what, KO? KO jumping off the WrestleMania sign.
Ian?
Yeah, because there weren't really many other spots that were standing out.
That one, it did just look fantastic. They made it, the camera angle, everything, they got it perfect.
Right, you've got that for spot of the night, well, spot of the weekend, but you've also got, Edge, where he's fucking, diving off of the top of the fucking, well, diving off of the ceiling onto Randy.
Did you hear what he said, like a little while ago about coming back?
What?
He said that he wasn't going to be doing all of the stuff that he used to do.
I didn't know that.
And then we see that match and it's like, okay,
Don't know.
you're definitely doing it.
But Edge also had the worst spot of the night.
He did with the fucking thingy, or the neck, and that's
Yeah.
horrible.
Where he was doing the dangler thing,
Mm-hmm.
Right.
and he swung onto the rotor, and it's like, what?
Aye, that was terrible.
That was shit.
Oh,
You on about the arse in the face?
Aye.
Arse in the face, and he got, what, an 8 count for it?
It wasn't the arse in the face, it was crotch in the face.
It basically gave him like a fucking...
Take my dick!
Basically, yeah.
That's the weirdest thing that we could ever say. Fucking Edge gave Randy Orton a good dicking.
He technically did though, that's the fucking thing.
When you get dicked so hard, you're done for an 8 count. Oh. Right. This one's the decisive one.
I've got a question before we move on.
Go on.
Do you reckon The Miz not being able to be there?
Oh, I think that made that match better.
Yeah, helped the match. So I think with 6 of them in the ring, it'd been too much.
No, because do you remember the triple threat match between the New Day, the New Day, the Lucha House Party, and the Usos? Because that was a fantastic match at TLC.
Aye, of course it was. But my main takeaway for this is you had the high flyer John Morrison, you had the high flyer Kofi Kingston, and you had the high flyer, was it Jimmy or so?
I don't know who it was.
Aye.
But it was literally 3 high flyers in a high flying match.
For me, the wrong person won that match.
The end spoiled it a bit.
It did.
It was kind of like, oh, but it's my tail, oh, but I want it, oh, get to me. Right. The decisive thing, like I was saying, what was better, the Boneyard match or the Firefly Funhouse?
Firefly Funhouse.
Right, let's talk about it a little. I agree, but let's talk about it a little. It was so fucking good.
Well, you kind of got... You said, like, a few days ago, a few days before WrestleMania, that it should happen like that. So you called it.
The first thing that I said is, they cannot have John Cena finding the Firefly Funhouse. They can't have the Seth Rollins thing again. They have to have him magically appear there. I'm
not on about that. I'm on about, like, when it took us through John Cena's career.
Oh, aye, that as well. It made it so fucking good.
I mean, like, you called that. Even
I don't know how I called it.
No, because you were like, it should be John Cena, like, takes years after John Cena takes his, like, raises him for WWE, and that's basically what he done.
No, I know, like, I know that I said it. I'm saying I don't know how I called it. Like, nobody knew what was going to happen going into this.
It's because it's Bray Wyatt and it's WWE.
I tried explaining the match to Liam. Because he asked me how WrestleMania was last night when we were online. And I turned around, I went, night 2 was better. I went, but fucking weird. He went, yeah, because there's no fans. I went, no, because of one of the matches with, because you know it's about Bray Wyatt, because you've seen the fucking match and all that. I went, that match, the match altogether had like 4 moves. He went, well, that's shit. I went, no, but it was weirdly entertaining.
It was.
No, the thing is, try explaining this to anybody who doesn't watch wrestling. Literally anybody. Actually, try explaining this to a wrestling fan.
Try explaining it to fucking Titus O'Neil.
Titus O'Neil, his reaction was just perfect. It was the same as Oyo's.
What do you reckon? What do you think of Gronk being 24/7 champ?
Oh, fuck off.
Gronk can fuck off, man. I swear down.
There was no point in being having host of WrestleMania.
No, Gronk was the heel of WrestleMania, let's be honest.
Yeah, Mojo Rawley, man, he fucking...
Mojo Rawley, the best champion of all time. The best two-time champion of all time, what are you saying?
I ain't running. I'll defend this title and then run top to the ring. Just getting chased by about 10 people. I thought you weren't running. What are you going to fight? You lie. You're a bitch, Mojo Rawley. You're a bitch.
Would you ever call him a bitch to his face, though?
Aye.
No, you wouldn't. He'd snap you in half.
I'll kick him in the balls.
It'd still snap you in half.
Do you know what? I can't keep it in anymore. Let's talk about Drew.
The first British champion.
The first Scottish WWE champion. Oh, I've never been more proud to be fucking Scottish in my life.
That was moment of the weekend, definitely.
I thought you were about to say something, Ian.
I'm gonna be a dickhead if he didn't deserve it.
Fuck off.
You know he deserves it.
You know he deserves it.
I have actually been a Drew McIntyre fan since day one.
Aye.
No. Right, you were not a Drew McIntyre fan at one point, though.
Yeah,
Nick was.
3MB.
I wasn't a fan then, but since he... I want him to bring back the Broken Dreams.
But, I watched a video, right? It's a video from when he was on the Indies.
Aye.
And it was just before he came back to WWE. And he was giving a speech about how he was going back to WWE. And he looked dead into the camera. And he says, I am going to be the first ever British WWE champion. I was like, that's goosebumps there.
Do you want to know the highlight of the weekend this video was? It's Heath Slater on Twitter putting a picture of Jinder Mahal, Drew McIntyre, and then him saying, with a question mark saying, future.
Well, he's the only one who's not held it.
Yeah, so someone turned around to him and says, well, you need to leave WWE, get jacked, and then come back.
That's true.
That seems to be the formula. Leave WWE, get jacked, and then come back and win a title.
Yep.
The win was just so emotional. Do you think, right, it's the same for every British person? This will be the favourite WrestleMania championship win?
Nah.
No?
I say aye. It's his first, it's his first world championship, not his first singles title.
No, but I'm saying as a British person, to have a British person representing the WWE as the champion.
Nah. Because look at it this way, right? Look how other British wrestlers have represented the UK in the company. Just because they're not world champions doesn't mean anything bad.
But at the moment, with the way they've been building everything and that, do you think anybody's represented Britain as much? Because he's been fully like, I'm British, I'm the first British champion and all that lot. He's been fully like Britain during all this.
In the terms of the wrestling business, yeah, because Regal was a fucking pioneer for British wrestling in WWE.
That's true.
Technically, everybody's wrong that's been saying Drew McIntyre was the first British world champion.
Why?
Because Tyler Bate was.
We're talking
world champion. If we're talking world champion, then the United Kingdom world heavyweight championship. That's what it's actually called. So, first British world champion is Tyler Bate.
Thomas, we're talking about the prestigious championships that have been about in the company for years upon years upon years.
Wait, and you're saying the UK Championship isn't a prestigious championship?
Wait!
Yeah,
you did not even give me time to finish. I was about to say I love the NXT UK Championship. Like, it's a brilliant championship.
But
it's only been around for a few years. It's not like a staple of the company at the minute.
It's UK Championship as well. It's not World Championship, it's UK Championship.
No, but still.
It doesn't say World in it.
It's like, do you know if Drew had won the Universal Championship? I don't think it would have been, it would have still been a big deal, but I don't think it would have been as big of a deal. This is the WWE Championship.
Still. My mind's set on Talbot being the first champion.
Because let's talk about it. Was Wade Barrett not one of the big champions?
Nope.
Did he not hold the World Heavyweight Championship?
Nope.
Well, I'm thinking wrong then.
He got buried, didn't he, by John Cena?
That's true.
Only held the Intercontinental title.
We've got to give props to John Cena though. He put the Fiend over. Well over.
He had to after they buried the Fiend with Goldberg.
But they didn't actually have to go that far, as far as they did, but John Cena really, really put in work with that.
Everybody put in so much work for that match.
It was so good.
I'll agree with you with what you said as well, Brian.
What?
I hope this isn't a one and done. I hope this is like Bray Wyatt's specialty match. Because it's so fucking good.
But you should only use it against legends.
Like I said, next year is WrestleMania back in Hollywood. They need to have matches like the Boneyard match, like the Firefly Funhouse match, because they belong in like the Hollywood setting.
Well, I know that you're not really going to be happy with this, but I'd say next year's WrestleMania, we should have Bray Wyatt as the Fiend, gone in as champion, defending against either Goldberg or John Cena. John Cena comeback.
Nah.
I'm against it. I am against it, but it's not because they all that. It's, I don't want the Fiend to hold the championship. I want the Fiend to be what the Fiend is.
Should just be a monster.
Exactly.
He's one of them. Keep him on TV every week, but he doesn't need to wrestle all the time.
He doesn't need to wrestle all the time. He does not need a championship. And whenever he is on TV, it should mostly just be as Bray Wyatt, not as the Fiend.
I think the Fiend and Bray Wyatt should be two separate characters.
That's what you're...
Well, they did that with the whole John Cena thing, didn't they? They had the Fiend up in the balcony and Bray Wyatt behind John Cena.
Yeah. I think they should do that more. I think they should do it more.
And please, oh God, please, keep the Firefly Funhouse as this supernatural, mysterious, spooky place that you can only be transported to.
Or if you're Seth Rollins, you can find it.
Yeah, but he is a messiah, he is a god. Don't forget.
Let's just scrub that for history when we can.
So if Seth Rollins is a god, then he created Bray Wyatt, who created The Fiend, so Seth Rollins obviously knows where it is.
No, John Cena created The Fiend. We all know this, John Cena created The Fiend.
Yeah, but Seth Rollins is a god, as I just said, so he created John Cena and Bray Wyatt, so...
Can I talk about the biggest drawback? Can I talk about the biggest drawback for WrestleMania?
Yeah.
Go on.
It probably has to be how quickly Braun beat Goldberg.
Yeah.
It diminishes the Fiend a little. Because it's essentially like, right, Braun better than the Fiend confirmed.
I also think Braun needs another move.
What, instead of the running power slam?
Aye.
Go on, Tom, you were about to say something.
Right, and another thing that, kinda annoyed me about WrestleMania, right? It's behind closed doors, so they need a lot of filling time and shit.
Mm.
They didn't have enough R-Truth. They had one segment with R-Truth throughout the full weekend.
I say they should have had R-Truth thinking he was actually wrestling in the stadium in Tampa Bay.
It would have been so much better. I wouldn't have even been opposed to like a moment for R-Truth in the thingy and the Firefly Funhouse match, because John Cena is R-Truth's idol.
I don't know. I think that would have threw it off for me.
I think R-Truth should bring back Little Jimmy, and Little Jimmy should be the next 24/7 champion.
Little Jimmy just becomes 24/7 champ.
I mean, I'm calling it.
Well,
Little Jimmy in the future will be 24/7 champ.
Well, we've already had one fictitious character as the champion.
Santa.
Yep.
What are you on about, actually? Santa's real, mate.
Mate, Santa's based on a real person, you dick.
Yes, Saint Nick.
Exactly, real.
But does that make Santa Claus real? Santa Claus.
Fuck Saint Nick. Santa Claus is a real person. He flies around with his reindeer and that.
Yeah, I've seen it on TV. Everything you see on TV is real.
Exactly.
Documentary, innit?
Yeah. I watched a documentary of Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
Exactly.
Cartoon documentary. They wanted to make it more kid-friendly.
So what do you think Vince should take away for this WrestleMania?
That SmackDown is in serious need of a new star whilst Roman Reigns is out.
Tom?
I don't know. Take the title off of fucking Becky, just please.
I think they need to do that at Money in the Bank.
Well, I'm saying that the biggest takeaway Vince should take for this is they keep WrestleMania going like this. I say day 2 nights every year. No. Instead of having like fucking 16 hours in one night, have, they put it over 2 nights. We enjoyed it.
Not counting the 24/7 title defenses and exchanges. We had 18 matches this year for WrestleMania.
And the best part was, it didn't feel like it though, did it?
And normally, we get about 12 to 14 in one night.
Well, night two kind of dragged.
9 hours.
Night 2 went a little bit longer than night 1, but it still didn't feel as, here's a load of wrestling, try to stay awake.
Would you have been invested for both nights?
No.
If it was one night over 9 hours?
No, I don't think I would have got to enjoy that Firefly Funhouse match if it was over one night.
You wouldn't have got to enjoy fucking Drew McIntyre's big win.
I'm not gonna lie, I'd have probably been asleep after the ladder match.
Like, I love wrestling as much as the next guy, but here, like, for anybody who's American watching, this all starts at 11 o'clock at night for us.
Yeah, that's the pre-show.
And that's the pre-show. So, if we're getting a wrestling event that's gone, like, 8-9 hours, it's taking us through to the next morning. We're dead by the end of it.
No, they should. I don't know. They should go back to what they did originally with WrestleMania and pay-per-views. Have the pay-per-views gone on for 3 hours and have WrestleMania for 4.
I don't know. I like the 2-night event.
It worked.
It worked.
It really did.
It worked, but it had to work.
But
Not necessarily. It could have fell apart easily.
But I think it would have worked a hell of a lot better if he had all the wrestlers at the disposal.
It would have.
Come on, Black and Lashley wouldn't have happened. Morgan and Natalia wouldn't have happened.
No, it would have. It would have happened on the pre-show. It would have still happened no matter what.
No, we'd have probably got the fucking Battle Royals instead.
Or we would have got a Cruiserweight Championship match.
Yeah. We'd have got something different. But we only got them matches because they needed to fill.
Aye.
They needed to have both shows equally packed as the other one.
One thing that we haven't said yet.
What?
Just straight up, thank you to WWE for all of this. They had the shit end of the stick with the fact that wrestlers couldn't be there and that, and they still managed to put on an amazing show for us.
WWE are lucky though, right, yeah, in the aspect of Raw and SmackDown being filmed at the Performance Center, because they can just choose the NXT talent and let them live in Florida.
That's true.
That's why we're seeing a lot of NXT talent on Raw and SmackDown at the moment. It's because they're there and they can be used.
Speaking of NXT,
the only thing that bothers me is half of the NXT talent's getting fucking squashed.
Speaking of NXT talent, there's one I've been watching more than anybody.
Vink.
Adam Cole. I've been watching Adam Cole on Twitch. He's actually brilliant. For anybody who wants to go and watch him, his name is The Chugs.
Oh. Do you want to know what annoyed me about the weekend on commentary?
Go on.
Them doing Flair and Ripley. Them going, oh, this is the first time the NXT Women's titles have been defended at WrestleMania. It's the first time any NXT title's been defended at WrestleMania. Any title. Not just the women's title, any title.
Sure.
Should have said any title, make it feel a bit better.
No, do you know what pissed me off about the commentary? They had fucking... Night 2. For some of the matches, they just had Tom Phillips commentating by himself. Which is
Tom
just
Phillips,
fucking horrible. Tom Phillips can fuck off.
I'll say this though, I reckon Edge versus Orton went on a bit too long.
At times it was tough to watch for me.
Yeah. It went on a bit too long.
The Aleister Black and Bobby Lashley match went on for way too long.
I will say that though, that is one of the best black masses I've ever seen him hit.
Oh aye, that was a sick black mass.
That was beautiful, time to perfection and everything.
Aye, but he's still doing it against Bobby Lashley.
It's not actually the best one I've seen him hit though. Best one I've ever seen him hit was on Adam Cole.
Nah, Lord Sullivan.
For me, Velveteen.
Do you not remember the one he hit on Lord Sullivan where he didn't even hit him and Lord Sullivan fell to the ground? Mate, just to go through the wind was enough to take him off his feet.
Aleister Black, I honestly swear, he's the one person I would not take a kick off. That man has got fucking tree trunks.
Him and Shinsuke.
Thank you, I brought up Shinsuke as well.
Tom brought up Shinsuke, but I say it'd be more devastating to take a kick off with fucking Aleister Black than Shinsuke.
No, the only reason I say Shinsuke is because Shinsuke used to do kickboxing.
Aye.
Aye, but so did a lot of, wrestlers and shit. I mean, the biggest one for kickboxing is Aleister Black.
Right, so, with the fallout of Mania, and the next pay-per-view being Money in the Bank.
Money in the Bank.
Who do you reckon Drew should face at Money in the Bank?
Nobody. I don't think it should go ahead.
No, let's put that on hold. If we've got signs of things starting to go back to normal by then, maybe. But if things are still going the same, I say you can afford to scrap Money in the Bank until it's over.
I doubt it. I doubt everything will be back to normal by then. Fucking our Prime Minister's almost dead.
I shouldn't have you laughing, should I?
No, not really.
He's a dick. Nobody likes him. He's the British version of Donald Trump.
Right, let's move away from this. We're going into politics. Politics we shouldn't be getting into.
We always do this, Brian, during the podcast.
Nah, we shouldn't be diving into this. But,
Nah, I think I agree with Thomas where it shouldn't go ahead because, say, the COVID-19 situation doesn't sort out anytime soon.
No.
A cash-in just won't feel normal anytime.
No,
in this situation. Like when you get a cash-in and it's unexpected, the pop from the crowd makes it even better.
That's why if they go ahead win Money in the Bank, still, then the person who wins it shouldn't have to cash in until everything's sorted, no matter what, even if it takes over a year.
Well, nobody has to cash in.
Yeah.
And plus, it's way too soon for Drew to drop the fucking title.
As I said, I think WWE should do what AEW are doing. With the wrestlers that are there that they aren't using, have them as the audience.
Aye.
Just to give you some atmosphere at ringside.
That's a good point.
I don't know, I do like having the audience for the eerie ones, for like, the John Cena against Bray Wyatt build-up. The build-up to that was fucking brilliant, thanks to not having any crowd.
Also, the hacker, the Mandy Rose hacker guy.
Aye.
Like, that felt brilliant with no crowd, just the dead silence.
Someone will just say Mustafa Ali. It's the vigilante, it's Mustafa Ali.
I have a feeling, mate, they're going to play it up, it's going to be rude.
Oh, don't be Bobby Roode.
No. I don't think so. His head looked too small.
Aye, but this is WWE, they're fucking plan out in about come out in 2 months, it's Bobby Roode.
Nah, the guy's way too skinny to be Bobby Roode.
Actually,
come out. Sure.
Aye, that's what I was going to say, come out in 2 years, it's fucking Viscera.
Eric Young.
Viscera. Oh, Jesus. It could be Eric Young.
It could be Eric Young.
Anything. He's not doing anything.
Come on, please let it be EY. That'd be sick. Actually, no, because then we'll actually have a storyline for EY.
True.
We've not had we've not had a single fucking storyline from yet.
EY,
and that's including NXT. It didn't have a storyline there. It was the leader of Sanity. That's all it was.
That was it. And they fucked up that when they brought them up.
Yeah, true.
That is one stable they shouldn't have fucked up.
And the person who's done the best at Sanity is Nikki Cross.
And Wolf.
I was going to say Alexander Wolf.
Is he a champion?
Not matter.
He's... So, right. How does it no matter what we're talking about who's doing better right now? And but if someone is a champion, then they're doing better than the other people who are not champions.
Does it? Fuck man. Not in WWE.
Yes.
Because we all know they can make a title. We all know WWE can make a title for worthless within minutes.
I was going to say, do you honestly say that Shinsuke was doing better than anybody else when he was Intercontinental Champion?
Well, he was getting wins.
Was he fucking? He was up on TV.
Aye, he was getting wins.
He was on TV like 1 every 8 weeks.
Thomas, do you realise how long he was actually champion?
No.
That's what I mean. You don't even think about when he won it because you're like, well, he's getting fuck all.
I don't even remember who the fuck he won it from.
That's what I mean. Like, I can think of a load of champions who have just been undervalued, underutilised and everything. They're no damn better off than some of the other people.
I'm trying to think of who was Intercontinental Champion before fucking Shinsuke.
Most likely the fucking Miz, to be honest.
Was it not Jeff Hardy?
No, I think it was it Daniel Bryan?
No, because he had he was involved with the WWE Championship then. And it wasn't a face.
See, that's what I mean. This title turns you irrelevant.
No, nowadays it does. This title is like the United States title.
And let's be honest.
5 years ago.
And let's be honest, Thomas. You're saying that Nikki Cross, she's champion. Tell me what prestige they've put on the women's championship, the women's tag team championships.
You've only had 4 tag teams that have held it. That's prestige enough.
Okay.
All right. One minute.
Wait. Each of the ones that have held it.
Right.
How many title defences have they had?
Hardly any. Right, but Nikki Cross is the first ever 2-time women's tag team champion. So no tell me that she hasn't done better than them.
What they fucking do?
Right, put it this way, Thomas.
One minute, wait. Can I say something? Right, you don't get an honour like becoming the first ever 2-time champion of something and be absolutely shite.
Thomas.
What?
Let me say this. Right. Do you know the Women's Tag Team Championships?
Mm-hmm.
They're in, like, the middle of, you know, like, you've got your tops, you've got your bottoms, you've got your middles. They're in, like, the middle, right?
Mm.
Alexander Wolf is part of a faction that is at the top of NXT UK. Like, at the top.
But they're at the top of fucking...
But
they're
that's...
at the top of fucking both NXT brands.
That's NXT UK.
And NXT.
No, really, because the top consists of Undisputed Era, Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa. You've got Velveteen Dream, who's probably going to be the next NXT champion, surprisingly.
So you're saying then if they didn't move Wolf and everybody over to NXT, they wouldn't be top on NXT?
They haven't moved them to NXT though, have they?
No,
They're still part of NXT UK.
No, but if they did move them, they would be top.
If they did move them, no, they wouldn't be top.
They would.
I'm sorry, but they wouldn't.
But,
they did the same. They did the same thing that they've done to fucking thingy. What's the names? Fucking Forgotten Sons. That's the ones. They'll do the same thing to them.
Right. I want to let everybody know that's listening, we're not trying to undersell Nikki Cross at all. We're just trying to make the point that you don't have to be champion to be doing better than another wrestler.
Aye, but if you want to go off kayfabe, then it does.
That's kayfabe. That's like
kayfabe.
scripts.
Kayfabe doesn't exist anymore. Kayfabe's fucking dead.
Fuck off. Kayfabe is still a massive part of wrestling.
Is it? But Kayfabe's been dead for about 15 years.
Right, either way, we've went off topic. Thomas, we'll start with you. Closing statements for WrestleMania.
Becky shouldn't have retained. Thank you, Vince, for giving us the first British WWE champion.
When is that here?
Well, it still has to go through Vince.
It was all Paul Heyman's idea.
Aye, but it still has to go through Vince. Vince has to get the okay.
These are closing statements. Let's get through them.
Right, and aye, best of luck for the future for WWE, even though it's not looking too bright.
Ian, closing statements.
Fuck off with the roll-up victories. Fucking dickhead.
Is that it?
Yeah, piss me off.
Fair enough. My closing statements. So happy we've got Drew as champion. In my mind, WrestleMania, complete success. Absolutely loved it. But there you go. There's our thoughts on...
Am I not doing this?
Do you want? Yeah.
I called in the video, so...
Well, fair enough. You wrap it up then.
As well. Right, so, that's the WrestleMania podcast. Anything else anybody would like to say?
No, really, no.
Ian?
Edge is back.
Edge is back.
Right, so, we hope you've enjoyed this one, and...
Remember to stay safe.
And stay inside. Even though it's a fucking twat. Right, but see you guys.
Just eating sarsaparillas.
Right, in a bit.
Peace.
See you in a bit.